Hey, so we're looking here at these concepts of thermochemistry or calorimetry. The basic formula that we've learned so far is this Q equals mc delta T. So again, the Q, that's the amount of heat that's gained or lost, that's energy. And we measure that in joules commonly. M is going to be the mass of the substance measured in grams. C is the specific heat. We use the units joules per gram times degree Celsius, so it cancels out the other units. And then this triangle T, remember that's delta T. That's going to be your change in temperature. And so the piece that we're going to add in today is we're going to say that if we have energy that's lost, it has to be then gained by something else. Law of conservation of energy, right? We can't create or destroy energy. We can only transfer it. And so when energy is lost from something, it's gained by something else and vice versa. We're just moving it around. So instead of saying Q equals Q, what we can do is we can say mc delta T of the loser equals mc delta T of the gainer. And so that's a formula that we're going to play with here over the next couple of days and explore some problems with it. Usually one of these is going to be water. Very often what we are doing is we're taking a piece of metal and we're dropping it into water. And so we're measuring what's happening to the temperature change of the water. We know the specific heat of water is 4.18. We can measure the mass. Mass is equal to the volume, right? So if it's 100 milliliters, that's 100 grams. And then for the metal, we can measure its mass. And usually we're trying to figure out what the delta T is, or we're trying to figure out what the C is. So you see a variety of different problems with that. If we look here, I've kind of created a little drawing of what a lab setup might look like. This is one of the first labs that we normally do in thermochemistry. And so we have a hot plate, and on top of that hot plate is a beaker with some boiling water. The volume of the boiling water really doesn't matter. What it is we're trying to do is we've got this chunk of metal, and I've drawn that in red here. That chunk of metal is supposed to represent 12.7 grams of aluminum. And I've got it hanging from a string so that it can be suspended in the middle of the water. If I leave that piece of metal there for a period of time, I can safely assume that the temperature of the piece of metal is the same as the temperature of the water. So I've got a thermometer here, and for ease of calculations, I'm just going to say that water is boiling at 100 degrees. Usually there's a little bit of variation with that. It's like 101.4 or 99.8. It's usually not exactly 100, but we're going to call it 100 today. So if I leave this piece of metal in here for a period of time, I can safely assume that it's going to be 100 degrees. I then pick that piece of metal up and I quickly transfer it to a styrofoam cup or an insulated container called a calorimeter that has a quantity of water in it. Now I've already measured this quantity of water to be 100 milliliters. And I've also recorded the initial temperature of the water at 21.4. So that's about room temperature. If I quickly take this hot piece of metal and move it into the cool water in the styrofoam cup or in the calorimeter, I think y'all know what's going to happen, right? The temperature of the water inside that calorimeter is going to go up. So let's suppose that temperature goes up a little bit. And let's suppose that temperature goes up to, I'm just going to make up numbers here, 27.4 degrees Celsius, right? So now I know my delta T for water. What did it start off at? 21.1, I think, and went up to 27.4. So what's that difference, that change in temperature then, is 6.3 degrees Celsius. Now, in this illustration I've drawn out for you, I know what all the different variables are. MC delta T of the metal. The mass of the metal is 12.7. The C is 0.9. And the delta T of the metal, okay, this is a little bit tricky sometimes. the delta T. So the metal went from 100, and where to end up at? Some people are confused by this. It ended up at the same temperature that the water ended up with, right? Because when we move the hot piece of metal to here, we can assume that they're going to equalize at the same temperature, right? So the hot piece of metal is going to give off its heat, the water is going to warm up, and they're going to come and be at the same temperature at the end. And so what's the final temperature of the piece of metal? Well, it's going to be 27.4, right? So you've got the piece of metal drop from 100 degrees down to 27.4. Ooh, some quick mental math here. What's that? That's 72.6 degree temperature change. So let's go ahead and let's put that in here. (72.6). And then my MC delta T for my water. Well, the mass of my water is that 100. Remember I said whatever the volume is, that's the mass as well. Specific heat is 4.18, and the delta T is 6.3. Now, usually in a situation like this, what we are asked to do is we're asked to solve for the specific heat of the metal. And then we're often asked to compare that to what it should be. So let's do this problem right here as though we're solving for the specific heat of the metal. So 12.7 times 72.6 is equal to 922.02. So we're going to divide both sides by this, 922.02, right? So that cancels that. We're going to take 922 divided by 0.02, right? So I'm going to do 100 times 4.18 times 6.3 equals divided by 922.02, and what do I get? I get a C of 2.86 joules per gram times degree Celsius. Now, obviously, that answer is far from what it should be, and we could do a % error on that, and we can do an error analysis, right? The error here is that Mr. Day is just kind of creating some numbers right here. I'm not actually doing the experiment in front of me, so that's why we're seeing some discrepancy. When you do this in a lab setting, you would probably get a number relatively close, but not exact. There's a couple places where error enters in. Obviously, as you take this piece of metal and you transfer it to the water, what's happening all along the way here is heat being given off to the environment. And so you're certainly going to lose some of your Q of the metal in that situation. The other thing that happens is sometimes the water we use is cold tap water, and we might measure it at the 21.1 degrees Celsius, and then we leave it in our styrofoam cup with the top off for a period of time. And what actually ends up happening is it absorbs some heat from the room, from the atmosphere, because the room might be warmer than 21.1 degrees Celsius. And so we do need to be careful that we're recording this temperature of the water immediately before we transfer the piece of metal into it. And we need to make sure that this piece of metal is being transferred very quickly into our water sample. Here's another example of how we might use this. We have an oven in the back of the room, and so we can put a piece of metal in that oven. And so the way that we would do this problem is we're actually trying to solve for the temperature of the oven. It's as though our temperature gauge is broken and we don't know what the temperature of the oven is. And we want to use our knowledge of thermal chemistry to determine the temperature of that hot oven. Here's our piece of metal inside of our oven. We've said it's 24.7 grams of copper. Copper has a specific heat of 0.385. So again, if I take this piece of hot copper, obviously I'm not going to touch it with my fingers. I'm going to use some beaker tongs, and I'm going to quickly and carefully transfer it into this container of water. Notice that I've now changed the volume of the water. I measured that to be 200 milliliters. My initial temperature is 21.7 degrees. Make sure I record that right now. So if I look at my formula, I've got MC delta T is equal to MC delta T. My mass of my piece of metal is 24.7. My specific heat of my metal is 0.385. And actually here in this situation, I'm trying to solve for delta T because I want to know what the initial temperature of the oven is, which we're going to assume to be the initial temperature of the piece of metal that's been in that oven for a while. I'll know the final temperature of the piece of metal here in just a minute once I transfer it into the water, because I'll be able to measure the final temperature of the water. MC delta T here, 200 grams of water. Specific heat of water is 4.18. And the delta T, I don't know that yet. So let's go ahead and let's conduct our experiment. Let's take this piece of hot metal, let's move it into our styrofoam cup, and y'all know what's going to happen, right? We got a hot chunk of metal coming over here into some cool water. The temperature of this water is going to rise. So let's do that transfer. Let's allow that temperature to equalize. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time. And now our final temperature, we can record 35.6 degrees Celsius. So TF is 35.6 degrees Celsius. Sorry, my C kind of started to finish in the gap there. All right, so what is this change in temperature? Well, it went from 21.7 to 35.6. So that's a 13.9 delta T. Okay, so I can put 13.9 down here for my delta T of the water. Now I could use a TI minus TF formula for my delta T, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to solve for my delta T, and then I'm going to add that to my final temperature of the water. The final temperature of the water, remember, is the final temperature of the water, that 35.6. So I do need to add that delta T to that. That's an important step to remember. So if I take 24.7, multiply it by 0.385, that's going to give me 9.51. So I'm going to divide both sides by 9.51. Divide by 9.51. So 200 times 4.18 times 13.9 is equal to, big number, 11,600, divided by 9.51. All right, so we get a delta T of 1,221.9 degrees Celsius. That's my delta T of my hot oven. So what is the temperature of my hot oven? Well, I have to take my delta T of 1,221.9 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to add to it the TF of the metal, right? Because the metal, when I transferred it from this oven into the water, the piece of metal cooled down to the temperature of the water. So the final temperature of the water is the same as the final temperature of the metal. So that's 35.6. So what's the final temperature? The initial temperature of my oven? It is 1,257.5 degrees Celsius. It's a very hot oven. But you can see here how we can use our MC delta T equals MC delta T formula to perform these calculations. And so this is similar to what we would do in a lab setting. If we had that available to us, we could do that. And we could do all sorts of different variations on here, right? We could solve for the mass of the piece of metal. We could solve for the mass of the water. Really, any one of these, as long as we take out one of these variables, we can solve for any of them, right? We have to know the other pieces, right? We can't solve for two variables, but we can certainly solve for any one of these variables at a time.